The Compubyte innovative POS software. This is a series of quick 3-minute tutorials. You click on your Compubyte innovative POS software. You put in your operator number, in this case 1, and you put in your password 1234, and since your training company was already chosen, it appears at the bottom of the screen. Now you press enter. It initializes all your screens and you now get a list of icons. From here you can choose exactly what you want to do. If it's a new store and you want to basically insert stock for the first time, or you're inserting stock for the first time, you will go to number 6, which is goods receiving. When you choose goods receiving, you will get an option, and you can see this is where your cursor is at the moment. It's at the moment on account number 1. You would basically want to put in either new stock from an invoice, or you can put in stock that you already paid for. So we're going to choose existing opening stock and we click it. Immediately come to the PLU code. You could now take your barcode and scan the item that you have on your system. If you don't have any of the items on your system, you can click on F6, which is new stock item, and immediately it shows you a list of groups that you have. At this point in time, because it's a new installation, there is no groups. What are groups? Groups are basically categories of your stock items that you basically want to monitor closely. So you could have a group that could be trousers, another group could be shirts, or you could have short shirts as one group and long sleeve shirts as another group. Depending on how you want to basically categorize your stock, you will have specifically that type of groups. Now we're going to open a new group. In this case, I'm going to say Lee jeans, right? And I'm not going to put in any markup parameters at this point in time. That means any stock that I receive in the Lee jeans group, what is my default markup for that particular jeans? You can put it by just putting the square bracket M1 colon and whatever your percentage markup is. I'm going to click OK. That's my Lee jeans group. It's now group number 1. I press enter. I get a list of all my size matrices. Now, if I have a size matrix that's not on the list, I can create a new size matrix. So I go to a new matrix. Now the matrix that I want to create is extra small, small, medium, large, extra large, and 2XL. And I'm going to create it by clicking OK. Immediately you notice that your matrix is number 7 and it has the matrix number there. All I then do is I press enter. That matrix that you see here is now in my special parameters, and it now has created a size grid for me. So the next time when I receive items that are from small, medium and large, I could just choose them off the matrix list without re-putting the information. The first prompt that you are on is your reference or PLU code. This is normally your manufacturer's reference. Just say your manufacturer's reference is RLEE and it's 786, right? And it's equal to AUM OM 101, and you press enter. The description for this particular thing, it's called Lee jeans navy. You can basically describe what the description for this particular jeans is. Now if you have a spare shop or you have a grocery store and you don't use sizing, then when you install the software you won't have this particular sizing matrix. All you will have is your groups, and you will be able to basically insert directly into your groups. I am just assuming for the sake of this particular tutorial that you do have sizing. You now go down to your catalog. Now let's say the catalog in the Lee jeans, which is your major category, you're going to have a subcategory in the Lee jeans which are basically denims. So all the Lee jeans that are denims, you'll basically put it in this catalog. You can now basically just update it. If you feel that you want to take a picture of your particular Lee jeans, you can just click on capture picture, and then you face your webcam to the particular garment, take a picture of it, and the system will automatically insert that picture into your database. Now I'm going to click update. You see the computer already gives you a code. Because it was group number 1, it put the first item in was 1 minus 1. If you put the second item in, it will be 1 minus 2. The next item you put into the group will be 1 minus 3. So it follows a sequence. This is very good so that when you print your barcode labels, it will have a very unique code. So I'm going to press enter. Now immediately it asks me what is the cost of the item. So just say the cost of this particular item is 100. So I put 100 in. And then I'm going to mark up 50%. So it will tell you the selling price is supposed to be 150 rands. Now you know your cost price is always excluding VAT, but your selling price could be either excluding VAT or including VAT. Let's assume for this particular tutorial your selling price is inclusive of VAT. So you're going to sell it at say 169.95. So you're going to put it in. Now it basically shows you the grid of all your sizes and also tells you in which branch what sizes you have if your other branches are also set up on the network. Let's assume that you haven't set up like branch number 2 or branch number 3 onto your system, so you're just working on this branch and you're just going to put the stock quantities in this branch. So extra small you've got 1, medium you've got 2, small you've got 2, mediums you've got 4, large you've got 2, extra large you've got 1, and double XL you have nothing. It also immediately picks up from the size matrix that your start size is 1, your end size is 6, and your increment is 1. Although your sizes are extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large. By start size, that means you're starting from 1, you're ending at 6, and you have 6 grids basically. Now I click on update, and immediately it shows you your selling price, which you can confirm. If your supplier is giving you a further discount, you'll put it in. Most cases you don't have to if it's just your current existing stock. You press enter. Now you can basically look at the total here, which is 1,140, and now you've put that item into stock. Now let's put another item into stock. So all I do is I click on new stock again. It's no more Lee jeans, it's now another new group, and the group does not appear on this list. So I'm going to go to new group, and I'm going to say now Lee t-shirts, and this time I'm going to put a markup percentage. I put a square bracket M1 colon, capital letter M1 colon, and I'm going to say my markup is going to be 75 on my first price. M2 means your second price markup. Because we're using sizing at this point in time, we're just having one markup, but you could have more than one markup. Now you click OK. You see here immediately you got Lee jeans, and now you got Lee t-shirts with your markup on it. You choose number 2, and immediately your size matrix comes down. Now with Lee jeans, you don't have to use small, medium, large, because that's not your size matrix. If you can't find a size matrix here, you can create a new matrix. We do have a size matrix here that fits the size that we're basically putting in. Then we can basically choose it. In this case, because it's t-shirts, it's also small, medium, and large. I'm going to click on it, and it's got that grid there. I then put my PLU code. Just say the PLU code for this is Lee T101, right? Lee T101, 101. Description is Lee T-shirt 101, 101 pink. You must remember, the description is exactly what you basically want to describe your particular product. The more detailed your description is, the better it is. So when you don't have a code, you could just put part of the description in and it will find your item. Now let's go to the catalog. Now at the catalog field, in the Lee t-shirt, it's further, you've got group number 1, which is your Lee trousers and your Lee jeans, and group number 2, which is your Lee t-shirts. Now in your Lee t-shirts, you want to subcategorize it. Now I'm just going to say V-necks. So you're going to basically have V-necks in the subcategory. Some people use the catalog, some don't. So it's up to you whether you want to have a major category and subcategories underneath that. I click update. It now opens. Because it was group 2, it opens 2 minus 1. I press enter. The cost, I put the cost in, just say it's 50 rands. Immediately it's showing you that your markup is 75% because you set it in a group as 75%. Tells you the selling price is 87.50. I accept it. If you're not happy with the selling price, you can make it whatever you want, 99.99, and enter. Now you put in your sizes. You got 1 small and just say 1 large, and you're updated. Remember, If you exit without update, it's not going to basically update this. So you've got to update it. You click on update. It's got 99.99 and enter. At this point in time, the computer knows that you have 1 minus 1 is a code and you have 2 minus 1 is a code. In order for you to store all this information, you could just press the end button and it will end the document. If you feel you've made a mistake with any one of the items, just say you've made a mistake with item number 2, you could say minus 2. Or you could basically edit this item. So you could go to the item, you right click on it and you go to edit, or you could delete it. One of the two things you can do it. All I'm doing is I'm clicking on the item, I right click it and I edit or delete. Those of you who are using the DOS version of the software, you had minus 1 and you could delete item number 1. If you had minus 2, you can delete item number 2. Similarly, if you want to edit an item, it was minus 2 and it would edit the item. Now that you've completed putting the stock items, these two stock items, you can either click here on the N key document with your mouse, or you can just press on your keyboard the N key. Now when you're ending the document, it shows you the date. This is the date of the invoice that you received the document on. Click OK. It shows you the value of the creditor's document value. If this value doesn't match the actual invoice value, then you know you've entered something wrong. In this case, we're using existing stock, so we're not really worried about the totals. So we click on OK. Shows you the VAT value. And now if you want to print labels, if you don't want to print labels, you're going to click here, don't print labels. But if you want to print labels, then you would say print labels. It tells you number of copies of this document. You want 1 copy of this document, so you press enter. A copy of the document will then give you a hard copy so that you can keep in your records so that you know what you've exactly entered. If you don't want a copy, you can put 0. For the sake of this example, I'm saying I'm not going to print a copy. And then I just press enter. And the system has now basically loading up the labeling software, and automatically your software your labels will be displayed on the screen. I'm just going to cancel this. You can see this is how my label basically looks. If I want to change anything on the label, I can change the label and redesign it. If I don't want this shoe here and I want to change it to training, I can just click on it, right click on it, I go more properties, and I'm going to change it to just say training. T-R-A-I-N-I-N-G, training, and I say OK, and now instead on my label it will be training. If I don't want now and was, I can just click on now and I can just delete it. This is basically a label designer. You don't really have to fiddle much with this. In fact, the system is set up such a way that your label will already be pre-set up for you when you set up your when you use the setup from the actual CDs for the program. Now let's say on this label I want to put the price on, so I can basically drag any item from the top. So just say I want to drag create a text object, so I can take that, click on it, and then just basically open the text box here. That's you just keeping your mouse down and putting it down. Now that shows you what's the text box. Now this text box got sample text, but I don't want sample text. I want some specific details in there. So I right click on it and I go to more properties, and I want the details to come from my data grid. So I click on my data grid and I go down there and I choose to say I want the selling price there. So I just click OK, and now my selling price will appear here. Like I said before, you don't have to really worry about the design of this. This is just to show you how quick you can design a label that will suit your particular environment. You can also go to 5, you can say label and printer setup, and you can now actually set up the way your printer and how your labels are, depending on what type of labels you're basically using. After you finish do that, you can go file and you can print the labels. And it will print exactly the labels that you have entered when you inserted your stock into the computer. I'm going to close it. The program will close there, and now you've entered it. It shows you what you've updated, and now you've put your stock into your system. As simple as that. Let me do another quick goods receiving. I'm going to go again, press the F4 key. Remember, I press the F4 key so that I can change a document. So if I want to go to goods receiving, I click on goods receiving. Now I'm going to put documents into my, I'm going to put stock into my database directly from an invoice that I receive. But now I've received an invoice from a customer, from a supplier. Now, normally all your suppliers' names would be here, and you can basically just at your account details, you can search for your supplier if you have more than what is listed here. Or otherwise, in this case, for this example, we're going to open a new account. So I click on new account and just say this new account is from it's called lead trading, and you can put all the details, your credit limit, whatever it is, and you update the account. You see the account number is automatically generated here and will appear at the bottom of this list after you press the enter button. So now lead trading is a creditor. Then you look at your invoice and you put your invoice number in, 1234, whatever the invoice number is, and you press enter. Now you're back at your PLU code. Now if it is an item that you've already got and you've put into your stock and it's a repeat order that you're buying, you don't have to go back to new stock. You only choose new stock if it's an item that's not existing in your store. Now in this case, just say you don't remember what is the code, like 2-1 or 1-1, or you don't remember the manufacturer's code. All you can do is type in LEE, because you have LE in your description, and you can put plus to further go into it, and it will start showing you all the jeans. Now if you only wanted the navy jeans, you could change your search to LEE plus, and I just put NAV. Now it immediately picked up it's a navy jeans, and it shows you how many you've got. If I click on it, it tells you you've got 10 in stock. It even gives you a grid down, and the 10 appears there. It tells you what you've got on back order, what's on purchase order, and that's your cost codings. Now you know this is the item that you've got in. The cost of it is 100, and just say you've got it, and it due to a price increase, the price went to 120. Then you basically put up your markup, and it will now be 210, and you can basically put the sizes that you receive. So you just received, just say 1 extra large, and you put it in 210 rands, and that's the item. You receive another item, just say it was also a Lee, so you put LEE plus, and it will show you all your Lees, and it was a t-shirt, which is a pink one. Choose it, enter, put the price in. It's already picked up the matrix because that group has the markup, and that group has the markup, so it picked up the 75% markup. You put it in, shows you the selling price, and now you can just put in 1 extra small and update. That's it. And this particular value here, 193.80, must match your invoice. Now you press the end button. You then present it with the confirmation of the document date. Just say the document on the invoice was 060208, so you click OK. Tells you the value, you click OK. Tells you the VAT, it's OK. If the VAT was wrong by a cent, you can change it here as well, or if the round of figures were different, you can change it. Now you're back to the thing. If you don't want to print labels, you won't print the labels. In this case, I don't want to print the labels. I said don't print labels. And number of copies, I don't want to print a number of copies. I've done that in. Now all these items are into my stock program, and my creditors is updated. So if I press F4 again, and I go to goods receiving, and I choose lead trading, and I say view account, immediately I need a password because I set a parameter which is 232. I set a password which is 1234. I can see exactly I purchased from lead trading for 193.80. I can see a detail account. It shows me a detail account. I can close it. I can see a detail itemized account. It shows me exactly what I purchased, how I purchased, what was my quantity in stock before, what was it when I received the stock, and what's my quantity afterwards. And you can basically check exactly your totals, and you close it and close it. That's it.